Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm Coach Cory Thorell, and I am here with our Superconscious tune-up, the free call I offer every single week. In the room, we've got a couple of people that have been supporting me for a long time in our conversation today. I'm super excited that you guys are here, and we're going to do a pretty cool conversation about symptoms, root causes, and designing your life. But before we get started, I want to go through the 4 agreements that we use every single time, which is our self-governance. It's not the 4 agreements, the famous book. This is different. These 4 agreements are how we open a container from where we were in our regular lives and then crossing the bridge into a conversation together. So I'm going to read these 4 agreements twice each, once so that you can hear them, and the second time so you can let them sink in. And here they are. The first one. Personal material in our circle is for our circle. Personal material shared in our circle is for our circle. We listen to each other with curiosity and compassion, withholding judgment. We listen to each other with curiosity and compassion, withholding judgment. We ask for what we need, and we offer what we can. We ask for what we need, and we offer what we can. And from time to time, we pause to regather our thoughts and focus. From time to time, we will pause to regather our thoughts and focus. And I always like to open with a poem or a little quote or a little verse of something, a little art and beauty, once again, just to honor the bridge of crossing into the crucible of sacred space. And so I found from the book, From Atoms to Angels, by Paul D. Walsh Roberts. And here's a little quote on synchronicity. Our universe is held in a perpetual state of delicate balance, with everything in perfect place, at the perfect time, in the perfect form, to ensure each moment's cosmic harmony. It is only us humans with our limited view who think it is anything other than the cosmic dance of perfect creation. Thank you, Mr. Paul Walsh Roberts. If you don't know the book, From Atoms to Angels, this one's a really great read. This one I come back to on a regular basis. And so that one jumped off the shelf for us today. As we begin today, my Superconscious weekly tune-up here, what are we doing here? This is my invitation to come home, touch our hearts, touch the source, and provide some tools to step in right here every single week. It's a way to meet me and to know what I do, as well as to touch the community that I've gathered around me. And over the last 5 years, I've got a pretty amazing group of people that come together, these tenderhearted warriors who are doing the work of self-love as a non-negotiable priority so that we can actually manifest the lives that we're dreaming about so that the rest of our lives can be the best of our lives. And in so doing, what is required of us is to look at our black bags, to address our shadows, to welcome the struggles that the universe or God or creator provides for us to grow, to learn, to expand, to let go, and to maybe course correct into something different or a new choice or a different desired reality. That being said, before we get started today, I'm just going to open this circle. I've got Chris here. I've got Joshua here. There's a couple other people off camera. Opening our conversation. Anything sparking, you guys have been with me for a little while, having a sense of what I bring to the table. Anything sparking in your bellies today about what we're doing here together? Anybody want to jump in and say hello?
We just talked right before the call, so you know what's going on with me.
Yep.
So I got a little giddy up in my gait now, I'm like it's working, Peter. So like it's doing it. Oh, I made myself love myself, and now things are starting to work out. Don't blow it. Don't fucking blow it.
Awesome.
That
Thanks,
kind of
Josh.
shit. But yep.
Right on.
So it's working. That's what I meant to say. Sticking with this kind of stuff is working, even though it's hard to change thought patterns, especially when you're in a really black place in your life. And it all starts with the thoughts. It's the hardest to turn around, but once you turn around, it just starts flowing. So
right on. Welcome home, Josh. Glad to
yeah,
see you shining
thanks.
brightly today, brother. Glad for it.
Happy to be here. Mwah.
Right on. Chris, you want to say something?
I would say that the big thing that I always get is the calming feeling in these circles, especially that you bring to these sessions, Cory. It's kind of a calming in the middle of the week, and it's like a recharge of my batteries. And
Yeah.
that's the thing that always sparks with me is just I'm feeling pretty good about life
Yeah.
after these things, and I really appreciate that.
We missed it last week. I don't know
Yeah,
what's up with emails, but we missed you last week for sure.
Yeah.
right on.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, here we are today, and here we are in this amazing time of autumn, uh, getting ready to hibernate, coming back around, going into our sleep and hibernation session of the year. I do a lot of work with people on the other side of the equator where it's springtime over there, where things are getting warmer, and here it's getting colder. And I love that I have a presence all over the world with some of those energies. I think a lot about the magic of the 5 elements of Chinese medicine: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, and how those 5 elements are a never-ending repeating cycle of transformation. And we're not going to dive, that's a topic for another day. We're going to dive into some of those things in a really big way. But I also just wanted to call in the ever-evolving spiral of evolution. Sometimes we feel like we're in a loop, in a circle, but I always like to challenge us to think of that loop from another perspective. If we were to look down from the top at that loop, more often than not, we realize it's not a circle. We're actually going around the 5 elements of Chinese medicine in our evolution, continually expanding, continually evolving and growing. And so as we return to a new beginning, that usually means we've just finished something, a completion.
Yeah.
And we'll never be known at the end of time for all the things we started. We'll only be known for the things that we have completed. And in the completion is a new beginning. And that is a lot of the root of the work that we do here, a completion of an old identity, of an old belief system, of an old way to be safe that no longer keeps us safe, which makes us uncomfortable enough to entertain a change. In
Well, it's
personal,
just like in video games, like, you level up and you get to be this badass and you go fight this boss and you kick his ass,
right,
but then you're at the top echelon of where you've been trying to get, but then you're at the bottom of the ladder for the next level.
exactly,
So yeah, so
exactly,
start again and refine your method, articulate, take what works.
right.
Anyways,
In that process, we let go of the things that no longer serve us. We put down the tools that no longer serve the mastery that we're achieving. We learn new tools, and then we're handed a new set of challenges, a new mountain to climb. So I love that phrase: healing is not a destination, it's a choice that we make every breath that we take. So that's what we're doing in this little weekly tune-up. It's like understanding our current reality. What's going on for you today, right now? What's going on? Where are your current successes and achievements? What are you proud of? What are you happy about? In direct comparison to that next level of challenges that are being handed out with that. As we grow again, we're going to grow, we're going to expand, we're going to be challenged. And I love this phrase of, when we're comfortable, we don't do anything. We just stay comfortable. But then we start to get uncomfortable. This is our spirit or universe knocking on the door to say, wow, your next expansion has arrived. And there's a moment when the pain of not changing becomes more painful than the pain of changing. Right? Because if the pain of changing is still too
staying the
much,
same.
we don't do it.
Staying the pain of change. The thought of change is more painful than the thought of staying the same. You're gonna no longer stay the same, right?
Right. And so that gets us out of the chair. That actually gets us up. We start the search. So when we become uncomfortable, there's a journey. You're like, okay, I just left my comfy chair where all was well, but now I've got an itch I can't scratch. And now I start to wiggle because I'm uncomfortable. And that installs that next phase of the search. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I need, but I need something. And some of us will stay in the search for a really long time because we're not finding or receiving or allowing that next step. And I think a lot of that is because the pain of change is still too great or greater than the pain of staying the same.
You can get addicted to the search.
Right, totally. Or we
Yeah.
don't, we're not finding. We're addicted to
Yeah.
the search because we're not finding.
Yeah.
Finding. But in the search, usually there's a magic moment of aha, like, whoa, okay, I read a book, I took a class, I took a course, I tried something new, I met some people, I learned some learnings.
Yep.
In that search, if something didn't quite get to the root cause of the discomfort, maybe we don't finish that class, we don't finish the book, we put it down and keep searching. But then usually there's a moment of, holy moly, that just woke me up. There's my creative fire in my belly just ignited. I now have some inspiration and I have some fuel to chase my dragons. I now have some understanding and wisdom. This is like when Luke Skywalker left home on the search and he met Obi-Wan Kenobi. Wisdom. And, he gained some tools and some wisdom on the journey. And then he had inspiration because now he was supported on that journey.
It's the hero's journey. It's Joseph Campbell stuff.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
George Lucas used the hero's journey to write all of Star Wars.
Absolutely.
100%.
He maybe should have let somebody else write the dialogue, but you did okay.
Yeah, well,
I'm just kidding.
he made his millions.
Yes, and it tells a grand story. It's one of the predominant fables of our modern consciousness. You know what I mean? Star Wars is just like Perseus and the Minotaur, and it's just
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in that hero's journey, okay, well, now there's the inspiration. I have a motive, I have a mission, I have a guiding North Star to guide me on this path into the unknown. And that's great because it fills our well, it gives us tools, it gives us support. And that's a good thing because
purpose
the next step is
and
you're going to be challenged on the journey with your new insight.
And it's purpose and meaning, which we fundamentally seem to need as humans. You can deny that you need purpose and meaning all you want, but yeah.
And it gives us the context and the structure we need to stay on the path.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes it more fun. If nothing means anything, then anything can mean everything.
Right.
So.
Right. But then there's that moment, though. Okay, you got some inspiration, you got some new tools, and you're on your path. But then there's the challenge, or the battle itself shows up, where this is all of our old programming, our old beliefs, that unconscious mind being threatened because it feels like it's gonna die.
Yep.
And so it fights back. All of the, here's my new dream, and here's what I love, and here's where I'm going, and here's my goals, and here's how good it can be. And then that voice from inside of us says, yeah, but ...
Yeah. But you don't deserve it, but you'll never get there. But you're just like your father.
Right. Yeah, but
the committees. Yep.
Right.
The peanut gallery.
Is that what you said?
I call them my peanut gallery.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, there's the battle. And we're going to get a little wounded. We're going to face our pain. We're going to face our demons. And we might get re-injured or re-triggered along that journey just enough to either take the low right road of making no change and repeating what you've just done to learn the lessons some more.
Yay!
We take the high left road when we finally shed those layers or the beliefs that have been holding us back. We pull the anchor out of our past of reacting to our suffering or to our situation and circumstance. And we pull that anchor out of the past and set it into the future in such a way that our dreams actually pull us toward them. Now that's right there. That switchcraft moment is what I'm about. That's what I have to work on.
Yeah.
Right. And I love that metaphor of the low right road of looping in your suffering some more, and the high left road of when we do that, we have to do our threshing. We remove that protective coating, that jacket that once protected us in an old belief or an older time, a younger time, but now it's too heavy to carry, and it's in the way of the very growth and expansion that is needed to take that high left road into who
you got to drop those rocks. But the trick is, like, a lot of the rocks we've been carrying we've learned, to associate with our definition of ourselves. So if I am not this, if I drop this rock and I'm not this anymore, then what am I? So therein lies some of the attachment to what was, and you got to replace it with what is, I guess,
So now
somehow.
we're talking about identity shift.
Yeah, yeah.
Who,
So that's what I mean. It's what's happening.
Whoever you think you are
Yeah.
exactly correct.
Yeah.
So I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not capable.
Yeah.
I don't deserve it. I'm not enough. I'm not significant. I'm not perfect.
And well, they're we can talk about them and get about them in front all the time and say I don't feel that way, but it's really the subconscious actions we take against our own self-interest that let us know that those patterns are still embedded. Because you can sit there all day and be like, I'm not letting my childhood affect my decisions right now, but then you go get drunk and miss a job interview or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
well, if it's still an identity issue, if that identity, a sabotaging identity, a limited identity, a negative emotion, if those are still embedded in your identity, how you perceive your reality, that's exactly what you will create.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you won't even know why you did it. You won't even, as someone who has messed their life up quite a bit, you don't even realize, like, you're already on the other side of a bad decision before you realize, hey, maybe,
here's the looping.
I did it again. Oops, I did it again.
Well, that's that low right road.
Yep. And the left-hand path is all about creating your reality, creating your choice, like you're taking the reins.
So I want to talk about that. Let's laser beam in on the choice we make to repeat or to expand. It's one or the other. It's not both. And so that low right road back into the loop of your suffering to learn it one more time is the repeat.
Yeah.
Or the expansion requires
the feedback loop.
Well, let's talk about the expansion. I think we're all really familiar with the right road. What we're not as familiar with is the courageous step to shed our layers, to put down what once protected us, and to step to the left and go through the wizard's gate, which feels like walking naked into the realm of the unknown. Right?
Backwards through a cornfield. Backwards naked through a cornfield. Sorry. It's a middle, uncomfortable sensation.
Well, it's uncomfortable until it's not.
Yeah.
If you're uncomfortable, you're probably still anchored in your right road. You're still anchored in who you were.
But being uncomfortable and doing it anyways, because of all these patterns and stuff that are so deeply embedded, feels like there's a level of discomfort that must be overcome in shedding the layers, recognizing what this is, recognize what you're letting go. I don't know. I'm talking over you. Sorry.
Well, Josh, what that makes me think of, what that calls into the conversation right now, your dominant focus of your action, are you more heavily oriented toward what you're running away from, running toward? Because no matter what you're doing, no matter how good your dream or solution, your need of the moment might be, if your energy is rooted in running away from the pain and the suffering, you're making more of it.
Right.
You're actually going backwards. Even though
running towards someone.
I dream of this good thing, but I know exactly why it's terrible.
Yeah.
Angela Sarian, one of my all-time heroes and mentors, folklorist and cultural anthropologist. She's I'm going to quote her, but not exactly. She's often known in her writings to say, the world can no longer afford to only describe what is broken without prescribing the solutions more power. So I would say what that means. Like right now, I know that I could ask you guys to tell me what's wrong with the world and what's broken with the world, and you could instantly, with no rehearsal whatsoever, go into a visceral, full-color, panoramic detail of what's fucked up in the world right now.
Everything's just fine. It's the only way it could be. It is what it is. That's the only way they could be. yes, like yes, I'm being facetious. Yes, I could launch into I could, I got a PowerPoint ready if you want to talk about what,
Exactly. With no
yeah.
rehearsal needed.
Yeah, exactly. Get me
Right.
my
Okay.
soapbox.
Interruption, pattern
Yeah,
interruption.
yeah,
Tilt, 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 pattern interruption. But can
yep,
you instantly, with no rehearsal,
yeah,
describe in just as much detail, full color, detail, emotions, dreaming,
yeah,
sparkles and unicorns,
yeah.
good the world is?
Yes.
Can you?
It takes less energy.
Okay, do it.
Done. Done. Yeah.
Do it. Tell me, how good is the world? I'm
It's
telling you,
great.
I'm asking you, do it right now.
It's great. It's
Convince
great.
me.
Convince you like it would
Tell
convince
me.
you the world is
Yeah,
broken.
but right now, right
Oh,
now, I don't
okay.
believe you. Prove it to me.
You know what? I think we are in a very interesting time phase lock right now. The people that um the people that the new Führer, whatever, the new guy, the people that he's appointing to positions that matter are comical at best. I think like
Interruption, interruption,
what?
interruption. I'm interrupting you.
Okay, yeah,
I'm interrupting you because I'm calling out something very important.
okay,
Because I know that if I were to ask you to tell me how much you're suffering right now, you could do it in a gigantic way and tell me in vicious details.
yeah,
I'm asking for, every single one of us needs practice at this. Everybody on the entire planet right now. I'm not calling you out. What I
okay.
am, though, is saying if we're going
What's
to do
good?
it well and manifest well and create our solutions, we have to be able to talk about them and believe in them and
Yeah.
invest in them and
All right,
decorate
all right.
them.
Well,
And
I'm doing it right now. Things are working out where I created this situation that I'm currently going to be in, going to Georgia. I'm pulling my like I mean, a few months ago I was suicidal, and now
all
I'm
right,
like
good.
pulling
All
this
right,
out of
stop,
my
stop,
ass.
stop, stop, stop.
Okay.
There you started telling me what was. I'm
Yeah.
interrupting the what was story, and
Right.
I'm calling in the what is becoming story.
Right. I was illustrating the drastic shift because partially and because we've been talking. You and I've been talking, and Aubrey and
Yeah,
I've been talking. I've been doing the work. That's
right.
why it shifted from there to there. That
Okay,
was the only illustration. Things are
very
looking
good.
good. No, I am definitely creating a solution.
Tell me about the
And
solution. Decorate
some
it.
of
Tell
the
me what
solutions.
is the solution. Tell
Oh
it.
yeah,
Tell it to me.
yeah. I'm gonna make a ton of money living on a ranch in a big ass house with an indoor pool and a gym. I get to get myself back in shape. I get to get my health back. Get to work under the table and live for free.
Awesome.
Um,
And next step after that, when you have all of that, Joshua,
yeah,
a couple
yeah,
of months, when that is in your pocket,
yeah.
what's the dream after that?
I'm coming back to Utah in a position of power where I can get a place and like make
Great.
things right with the people and like get my shit back going, like get to the desert, do some Aya ceremonies, you know?
Excellent. And then
Yeah.
after that, when all of that is done, what's the dream after that?
I'm just gonna keep making music and I'm gonna keep, uh thought about going to school for helicopters, but we'll see. There's 5 of them in Utah.
Helicopter school.
Yeah,
Helicopter school.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, now imagine, jump to the future one more time. You just graduated from helicopter school. What just became possible?
Oh, I can fly anywhere in the world. I can do heli skiing. I can do anything,
Right. And now you got the job, you got money coming in, you
Yeah.
got security, you got
Yeah, and plus
a
by now I speak like, a couple languages like Chinese and things like that that'll help me
you're
get
learning
by in the business.
languages.
So
Okay, great. Okay,
at
we're
least
chunking up. We're
yeah,
chunking up
converse.
in our conversation right now. Now, all of that,
Yeah,
Josh, that's dream
yeah.
four. All of that is complete. You now have 4 languages. You're all over the world. You have an incredible situation. Now what? What's the dream after that?
Take my friends with me wherever like my idea of wealth is doing whatever I want with whoever I want for as long as I want to do it.
Okay, you have that. Great,
Yes, to
installed.
have that.
Then what?
Have that.
And then what?
At
Chunk it
some
up.
point, at some point we give back,
Give
you know. At
now
some
you're
point
on
we give
something.
back.
Give
Yep,
back. Tell me about that.
yep.
You want to give back?
Show people how, basically be like if you like the principle of like you are the most like the 5 people you spend the most time around, like
Mhm.
if people see what I have and want what I want, like whether it's physically, spiritually, all these things, they see that kind of life and what I've accomplished, and that's what they want, then you help them get there.
Right. So because of your journey and how far you were willing to let your pendulum swing into the dark side.
Yep.
And now you're talking about giving back to the world.
Mm-hmm.
That means your pendulum is swinging just as far out the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
Because of your pain and suffering,
Yeah.
you are now just as far out the other direction.
And then what?
How do you want? Who do you want to help?
With my nature and my healing abilities and the people, like sometimes people I've been talking to at parties, and they'll just give me like coordinates like a vending machine, and this packet of information that was meant for them comes out of my mouth, and it's like I transmit, and whether or not they receive it all, sometimes they come back, sometimes they freak them out and I never see them again. But it's just been like, okay, you punch these buttons in, I give you this body of information, and sometimes it fries them out. I don't know, but usually those people find me. So however it like turns out to be helping things, it'll find a way. It'll
Right.
find a natural path.
Right.
So
what I'm calling into the conversation is we move on from this moment into the
Mhm.
next moment.
Okay.
Right. I'm changing our topic a little bit.
Yep. Go.
What I'm talking about here is chunking up. This is an NLP, neuro linguistics programming phase. This is like plays with the Milton model and a lot of these coaching tools and spiritual tools that are in our realm. Chunking up. I was helping you do that, Josh, just now, saying, okay, you just did something. What's the greater good of that? And then what is the greater good of that? And what is the greater good of that? And when you have that, what becomes possible? And when you can do that, how good can it be?
Yeah.
And when that good, what else can you do? And eventually, when we chunk up, when we all arrive at a very similar place of wanting to give back, being in our power, being free,
Yeah.
which is spiritual
Free.
connection, right?
Fucking free.
Right. And I love that when we do like a chunking up situation, like a great example of this is if conflict mediation, for example. An excellent contract or a conflict mediator, what they're going to do is going to put one person on one side, one person on the other who are in conflict, and they're going to chunk up their stories in front of each other to the point where they both understand that they want the same thing. And it softens the grip. Because I think
Right.
all of us really are good humans trying to be good humans. So when we chunk up like that, then we can look back and say, oh man, when I was in my dark place, it was the perfect situation for my expansion. Those lessons were perfectly created by me, for me, right? On this journey, right? And this is where we take 100% responsibility for our journey, which is in the present moment of right now, when we totally accept everything that has happened to us so that we can change everything that will happen to us.
Mm-hmm.
We stop reacting and start creating in the world. Right. And I know, Josh, thanks for your shares today, because I know that you've come from a really dark place. You've struggled a lot. And I'm delighted to see this creative fire in your belly right now, because it's good medicine. It is so delightful to see you lit up right now.
You've definitely been in there. All you guys have been in there, just been helping.
Right on,
And
brother.
there's a bootstraps kind of thing that needs to happen, but suck it up, buttercup.
The only correction I would say to that is it doesn't need to, but you certainly get to.
Yeah. Well, that's how it starts. If you're in a dark place, you have to bootstrap it, but then you can like launch off your bootstraps like a trampoline,
So I'm gonna change your conversation a little bit. And now I'm gonna invite Chris to come into the conversation a little bit, because you've been talking a lot, Josh.
Yeah, Chris.
Sit back for a minute.
Yep.
Chris, you and I have had time together too. We've had some time, and we've had some ceremonial, plant medicine journeys together. We've had a lot of spiritual conversations together. We've had a lot of conversations about cosmic masculinity and redefining who we are halfway, midway, 2/3 the way through life. Looking at the work that we do here. putting ourselves first. Thinking about some of the things we've talked about in our chat today, Chris, what's sparking for you in your journey? You know, like, where's your success? And therefore, that success, what's creating the next curiosity for you?
I don't know. I've been thinking about the next step a lot the past few weeks and months, and I think I keep going back. I'm in that cycle right now where I keep saying where I am, but I'm not doing anything about it yet.
Right.
The place where I am is I feel like I have healed from a lot of issues I've had, and I found the reasons I am the way I am, and the conditioning that made me that way. And so I'm understanding myself. Now I'm to the point where I need to do something about it. I need that action. And that's where I sometimes struggle taking that next step. Not that I'm comfortable where I am, I'm eager to do it. I'm just not sure how to take that next step. Um, I'm really, this idea of stepping into the masculine, I for some reason I have it attached with doing hard things, or doing difficult things, or putting myself in uncomfortable situations. And that's kind of the direction I keep looking. And I've started that, with some hape, taking that, it's discomfort, but then you get a reward. Walking barefoot, these little trips that we've been talking about that I've been doing.
Yep.
The weight loss, or the weightlifting journey, and just putting myself out there, trying to figure out what it means to be more of a man like my ancestors might have been. The easy life I have as a piping designer, I sit here behind my computer, and I don't bloody my knuckles at work. I don't break my back. I sit here all day at a computer. It's not very hard work.
Right.
I think the thing I'm looking for is just stepping out and testing myself.
Right.
And with the testing comes success. I want to see success.
What's from this point of view, this perspective right here, what's holding you back?
I'm not sure. I really cannot put a thumb on it. And maybe it's just because I don't know exactly what I want next.
I'm so glad you said that. Dream work.
Dream work.
In my first, when I first became a coach, in service to helping people discover who they really are, it didn't take me very long after the processes and certifications and all the coaching tools, and I was so excited to get busy working with people, a transformation journey, like, okay, what is it to imagine your future? If we're going to manifest what we think about, that means that you have to have a dream. You have to be able to know what that is. And right now in the world, there is so much darkness and shadow and fear and uncertainty, and very little good example or education for us about how to dream gigantically. And in fact, we're literally told not to. Don't daydream, it's a waste of time. Don't daydream, focus. Don't dream, do what you're told. But I really believe I love this question. What could possibly be more important than dreaming about your future?
Daydreaming with focus.
Yeah.
Not just without daydreaming with focus. That's the magic.
Well, and let's take a step above focus with permission.
Yes.
Permission
And intention.
dream gigantically.
Intention. And in detail.
Right. And so what I discovered with so many of my clients, especially 4 or 5 years ago, is that, okay, if we're going to manifest what we think about or what we dream about, but if today hurts so much, the dream of tomorrow hurts even more. And so a lot of people have shut off their their limited ability to dream already. They've shut it off completely because tomorrow never happens. Today sucks. And if I dare dream about tomorrow, that means my heart is going to be broken even more. I'm not going to dream at all because I'm surviving barely right now.
Mhm.
So that being said, what did I do? I was like, okay, there's a need, there's a niche market, there's something to do. Let's create a course. So I did for 3 years a project called Dream Intending, which was a 13-week course that I taught, I don't know, 6 times over the last 2 years of reinstalling the daydream in such a way that we pull the anger out of our past and set it into the future in such a way that our dreams actually pull us toward them. And we magnify them, we intensify those dreams in such a way that
like a grappling hook instead of an
energetics of
anchor.
that pulls us forward.
Yeah.
Right? And now
Grappling hook instead of an anchor. Like you take the anchor and use it as a grappling hook.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So in another analogy, another metaphor is, okay, we are the captain of our own ship trying to sail. And is your anchor still on the dock as you're trying to sail, or have you actually pulled the anchor and skillfully and talently coiled the rope and hung the anchor on the bow of the ship, the front of the ship, and set sail? And then when we're setting sail in that search mode that we talked about before, where am I going? And if you don't know where you're going and you set off to sea, like if you're on an airplane and you're in Europe and you don't have where you're going, a 2-degree course correction will totally change where you're going. Like, are you going to end up in America or are you going to end up in Antarctica? Right? Depending on where you're going. So then that search, that inspiration, that next good thing, that next dose of medicine, the next insight, the next feel-good inspiration, the delight of imagination, something that fuels us and inspires us, that's where we set the anchor. And then we have a path. We set sail. And the more we learn, the more excited we get. Yeah.
Those little victories come along and you get a little giddy.
Or a lot giddy.
Yeah. Woo!
If we got, 500 buckets of giddy.
Yeah. And plus they let you know, those little victories let you know that, like, the universe responds to intention, but it responds to action. The action driven by that intention, and then it unfolds for you. Like, oh, you're really serious about this. You want to do this. We're going to say yes because the universe says yes.
And how do you know? Because things get easier.
Yeah.
Flow state starts happening.
Yep. That's it. That's what's up.
Yeah. We stop reacting. We start creating.
Without even thinking about it. You just it becomes easier and easier and easier. Just things.
An old phrase, if it feels good, do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
follow the white rabbit.
Yeah.
My feelings the past few years have really, as I've gotten older, have revolved around finances. And those can be crushing. Finances is not, it's not an easy subject to talk about. And it's almost like as you get to the end of your life or 2/3 of the way through and you realize you're close to retirement and you still have a lot of financial obligations, and it kind of crushes those dreams. It limits them.
Man, I'm doing that work in my world right next to you because we're about the same age. Thinking about that. Anyway, how old are you?
It is.
I turned 53 in February.
Yeah, I'm 56. So yeah, like we're looking at the world that 2/3 the way through life. The rest of my life, like I am no longer interested in bullshit. I have a zero tolerance for meaningless engagement. I only want to have conversations that matter. I want to feel good. I want to manifest. I want to provide. I want to serve. I want to help. I want to be happy.
Yep.
And Chris, I don't have the bandwidth anymore. I don't have the tolerance anymore for the bullshit.
Yeah. Well, and Chris, I have a sneaky suspicion with the way things are going and with how we're creating our reality and manifesting all of this stuff. Debt is really just ones and zeros in a computer. And there's a very large chance that things could drastically shift and none of that will really matter so much anymore. And, we can jump into that lateral timeline.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yep. The
So we've
more
got,
attached and charged you are to the issue, the longer it persists. I know that from myself.
yeah.
So anyways,
Well, we've got a few more minutes together
Yeah.
before we're done here today on a Wednesday afternoon. And as we're in this space of brotherhood, shared space, and claiming, I love, we're doing some claiming here. We're also doing some acknowledgement of the journey we've been on, the map, the hills, the valleys,
Mhm.
And I'm also remembering in our conversation today, we've talked about curiosity, about what's possible, where are we going,
Mhm.
what can be.
Yeah.
This is all good medicine,
Well,
So
if we're dreaming big about what can be, and go all the way out with the dream, and then let it go, and let the universe operate in its way without placing attachments to it, then I think that tends to come along eventually.
yeah,
As long as we're not putting too many constraints on how it has to happen or what it looks like. You end result it.
yeah.
You live in the end result, and you send it out, and who knows?
Let's talk. The what's popping into my head right now, as maybe a way to claim where we've been, as well as we get ready to leave this circle and go back and finish the week, go back out into the world. The word acceptance is coming up, and I'm not sure if you guys follow Quasi on YouTube. He's amazing. If you're not following Quasi, Quazi, he's a really cool guy. He's got a little empire. He's teaching manifestation, how to manifest the life you love, all these kinds of things. And he's an incredible teacher. And his videos, Quazi. And
Yeah.
his videos are usually half hour to an hour long, talking about quantum physics and the Kabbalah and the 7 laws of the universe and how to apply them. And I really appreciate the way he teaches. And I was watching one of his videos just the other day talking about acceptance. A total 100% acceptance of your entire life up until right now. No more regret, no justifiable stories, no defense, just acknowledgement and acceptance. This is, and therefore we're taking 100% responsibility. No more blaming, no more reaction, no more betrayal, none of those things that were part of the story. Those don't disappear. Those are part of the story. Those are learning tools, learning emotions, but 100% acceptance. When we accept our situation, we have nothing to defend. We've done nothing. There's nothing we can't change the past except redefine the story of it. We can install learnings about the past. We can rearrange the emotions and understandings of the past, which is a great thing to do. That's timeline therapy. That's past life regression.
Yes.
That's the way that we can let go of the past so that we can actually move into the future. But acceptance, 100%. You did this to me. Yeah, but who cares? All that's true.
Victim takes perpetrator,
so many
perpetrator
other
takes
things that
victim.
are true as well.
Yeah.
The unconsidered or the undreamt dream is also true. So, but once again, are we practicing prescribing the solutions of where we're going in such a way that the past is not influencing them? We're not running away from, we're actually running toward more powerfully. And this is a question I want to ask, and maybe we'll talk about this a little bit as we begin to close our circle. Are you spending 75% of your day reacting or creating? Are you spending 75% of your day turning right or turning left? Are you spending 75% of your day being more conscious of what you're running away from, or more conscious of what you're running toward? And if you're not spending 75% of your day conscious about what you're running toward, that means you got dream work to do. You got some dreaming to do. How good can you make your dreams? And in order to make a choice about the future, you have to read the menu. And in order to read the menu, we get to write the menu. We create our own menu. And I think you guys have heard me say this before, and I know Chris has been doing this. How do you even begin? Like dream intending, like this exercise of write a list of 100 things that you fucking adore. Goosebumps and butterflies in your tummy at the same time. If it's not that high, it doesn't make the list. 100 things of living on earth right now in this time that ignite your creative fire, that you fucking love. Chocolate, eagles flying in the air, sunsets, cuddles, whatever it is. Green chili. Oh, I want green chili. I could have it every day. I would eat it. Sushi. You're like, oh.
Sushi. A good mole. Good mole. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Totally. See, there it is. Oh yeah. Oh,
mole
yeah.
negro. Oh yeah.
Energy.
Oh yeah.
It's that energy that writes the menu from which we make our dynamic choices. When we say a radical yes strongly enough that it pulls the anchor out of our suffering of the past.
Yeah. And then you take the steps in real life, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you dream big and then you say, yep, that's how you get the ball rolling in physical reality, is you take physical steps. If you want to learn Spanish, you know, you go sign up for Spanish lessons, and then the universe tells you yes, that you can learn Spanish. Simplified, but it works, you know. If you want to become a contractor's license, and you start working as a carpenter, but it says yes. Yeah. Increasingly, exponentially says yes, the further along the path you get, and the more you dream.
And the more you say yes, the more we work with the unconscious mind to support us in those dreams.
Because the universe only wants to say yes. It only can say yes. So if you say, I'm a piece of shit, then the universe says, yes, you're a piece of shit.
Exactly.
And then, you know.
You're absolutely right, Josh. You know, like I said at the very beginning, no matter who you think you are absolutely correct.
Yep.
If you
think you know, and if you say, you know what, I'm going to be an underwater basket weaver in 2 years, the best underwater basket weaver this world has ever seen in 2 years, and you commit yourself totally, the universe will say yes to that too, no matter how farcical and you know, whatever, you know. So why not? Why not? We're here.
So let's begin to close the circle.
Okay.
What was the thing in our chat today that stands out the most? What's the the new North Star, or the fuel for your dreams? What's the reminder that we're going to carry away from this circle today? Chris, what's in your mind?
75% reacting. That's what I spend my day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I'm like, okay, I need to realize, I need to think and ponder, what is my motherfucking dream? What do I want?
Because if you're 75% focused on reaction, you're making more of it.
Yep.
You're making 25% of the thing yeah, exactly.
Yep. That hit me. Yeah.
Yep. And we can either repeat or expand. Another way to say that, you can either create or react. Same shit.
Yeah.
Where's your energy? Are you polarized towards the negative or the positive? It doesn't matter. The universe does no judgment. Your unconscious mind has no judgment. It just goes, oh, that's what we're doing today? Great, let's go full in.
Yeah.
Switchcraft moment. Josh, what did you learn today? What sparks for you today?
Oh, you know, you talked about, I just had a mental image in my head of, like, you know, the shift that you talked about, is like having pulling up your anchor and putting it on the bow. And then, you know, I thought about, you know, how, you know, they used to navigate the seas with the North Star in the sky. So I thought about, you know, if you hang your anchor from your bow, then you pin the North Star to your bow tip, to your prow.
Yeah.
So, you know, shoot, you know, you get what that means. Yeah, it's just like shoot it as far as you can. We're gonna rocket, catapult it.
Yeah. So I guess the dream work I'm gonna ask.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. So there's some dream work. I think we should.
But writing the list, yes.
Too. I've got to do it too.
Writing the list. No. By the next time that we do this, I'll have my list.
Awesome. But the homework I'm talking about right now, the thing that I want to do with you guys is find the new, reclaim, identify, claim from the universe your new North Star.
Yeah. Know
what it is. Be able to claim it and speak to it easily.
Yeah. You can't anchor to it if you don't know what it is explicitly. It helps. Yeah.
It's a prescription.
Yep.
Just like Angela Sarian said, the world can no longer afford to only describe what is broken without prescribing the very solutions that we require.
Yep. And that's the only we already know we all know what's fucked up about what's going on. We all do. So let's just focus on the solution. That's all
We all
the
get
best
to
thing.
know in gigantic, delicious, beautiful detail the world that we would love to create.
Yeah.
And all of us need more practice.
Yep.
All of us need to be practiced and help each other. All of us, I think, should grant each other permission to interrupt when I reinvest in my problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I love this coaching phrase, I will love you, but I will not love your problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're checking them at the
We
door.
all go, yeah, but we barf it up
But
again.
but it's a part of me, but it's who I am. Because this happened to me, I have to be this way. Blah.
That's when we use the most magical word of all. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Bullshit. Bullshit,
Good.
Gary.
Most excellent fertilizer.
Yep. Yep. Is that where you grow your excuses?
In the bullshit. Yep.
Yeah, in the bullshit.
Cool. Well, gentlemen, thank you for spending your Wednesday afternoon with me. Once again, I appreciate you.
Rock and roll.
I honor your journey, and I thank you for the one-on-one time that we have had together and our group time together. And let's keep growing. And I'm going to also send an invitation. Is like I have a dream of this Wednesday afternoon class growing and becoming more significant. You know, if you know somebody that might benefit from a conversation like this, or
I talked to David. I'm gonna invite him again. I invited him to Creators Creating, but send me a link for this. Aubrey and I have a mutual friend named David who's totally fucking dope and is ripe for this, especially the men's group, I think. Yep. And I've sent him a link a couple times, but well, we'll get him in here.
All right.
So
sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
And then, Chris, if you're in Salt Lake City anytime soon, let's go for a walk. Let's do some hot bay. Let's giggle. Let's laugh at our futures.
That sounds good.
No,
and Chris, also my door is open too. I've been busy manifesting some good ass shit. But yeah, we can anytime, man. You want to talk?
Good deal. Thank you, man.
We'll see you guys.
All right.
Thank you for the lovely afternoon.
Thank you for being here, everybody.
Yeah. Yes.
Take care.
See you next week. Right on. How are you, brother?
Good.
Well, he was talky today.
Yeah. He was feeling it, which is good for him.
Yeah, way good for him.